Hi, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Kristen.
And we're coming to you from Zink's Meats and Fine Wines in Centerville with our weekly wine tasting. This week we will be featuring Dunham Cellars. Dunham Cellars got started by Eric Dunham when he was a teenager in the early 80s. He used to sneak into his parents' international wine cellar and break the lock, pick the lock, get in the wine. When they upgraded the lock, then he started taking the hinges off the lockers. And so he's developed a love and passion for wine at a very young age. Then he went to the Navy, and while he was stationed in the Navy, he was stationed in California. And from there, he would, on his time off, he would go over to Napa Valley and really learn and research and talk with people and be in the vineyards and really fell in love with it. Once he was finished with his tour, he went home and he told his parents that he wanted to be a winemaker. So they went to Washington in Walla Walla, and he found a World War II hangar, an old hangar from World War II, and turned it into the winery. So that's kind of a little bit of background history. Today they are all still working the winery and working together as a family unit. And so let's get started on talking about some of the wines. First one we're going to talk about is the three-legged dog. I'll give you a little bit of the background story. So Eric was at the winery one day and he heard these big animals fighting and ran outside and broke up this dog fight. And there was a puppy, and the puppy was injured. He took the puppy in and took the puppy to the vet, and the puppy had lost one of its legs. So the dog is a three-legged dog, and the reason his name is called Port is because he has two legs on the port side, and then of course his single leg on the other side. So it's still, the dog is still around and with them, so that's a wonderful story. And we'll talk a little bit about the wine.
Alrighty, so they blend their estate vineyard grapes that weren't quite good enough to make into their fine wine selection. So they blend those in this blend, and they age it in the barrels where they age their fine Cab, Merlot, and Shiraz to give it a nice consistency. And it's nice enough for an everyday wine at a decent price.
Okay. So, it is a blend, and it just tells us it's what, a blend of?
I'm assuming Cab, Merlot, and Shiraz.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily specify the blend or the percentage of blends. So it's a very nice table wine. You definitely get the Shiraz. There's a big juiciness in the middle of the palate from the Shiraz. There's a fruitiness on the front for the Merlot. And then you do get a nice finish with the Cab. So it does have a really nice finish for it. It's at a great price point. The price point of this retails for $19.99 a bottle. So it's delicious, very good. Okay, sorry about that. On to our next wine. This is the Trutina. So the Trutina is also one of their red blends. It's consistent varietals of
Merlot, Cab, Cab Franc, and Petit Verdot.
Okay, primarily Merlot. So 54 Merlot, 42 Cab, 2 Cab Franc, and 2 Petit Verdot. This is the Columbia Valley blend. So this is from their Columbia Valley estate.
It's 20% New Oak, 10% New American, and 70% neutral.
Okay. You definitely get the black
currant in it.
Black currant. You get a little of the cola flavor on the nose, where you get a little bit of that cola-ness to it. There's definitely Merlot in there. It's very much Merlot. It actually has a little bit, I think, Merlot probably than the three-legged dog does, so it's definitely more fruity. But it's got this nice, rich mid-palate. Gives a little bit of pepperness to it, which is probably coming from the Cab Franc. And then it does have a nice silky finish, so it doesn't have a big, huge Cab finish. It has more of that Petit Verdot finish, which is probably why they put that Petit Verdot in there, which is to balance out and finish off the wines. So beautiful in color. Alcohol content, not too high. It's only 13.8. So it's a very food-friendly wine. Very delicious. One of their featured wines of the month. So this is featured, it is normally $39.99 and it is on sale for $29.99. So it's an excellent feature. It's got The more you drink it though, the more I kind of like it. It's got more of that juiciness to it, which I kind of like, and so I like it a lot. Now we're gonna move on to our Shiraz. Now the Shiraz
is 100% Shiraz. It's from the prime vineyards throughout Columbia Valley. Sweet Valerie. Savory and spiced aromas, vanilla, clove, peppered, bacon, and thyme give away to hints of lavender and dark fruit. It is 42% French, 30% second fill French, and 28% neutral.
Okay, so second fill French is basically, most people call it once used. So a second fill means that it's already been used once as a first, and then it's also used again in the second barrel. So it's a second time around barrel. Okay, so what should we taste in this wine? Lavender, you said, or you smell it? Yeah, smell lavender for sure. Definitely got that floralness to it. Oh, you can taste the blackberry in it. It's got a richness to it. It's got that juicy Shiraz flavor. This one has a lot stronger of a finish, I think, on the end. So it's got a little bit, maybe it's the difference in the oaking or the longevity of the oaking, but definitely delicious. Very nice, very nice. Okay, now on to their signature wine. So their signature wine is their Cabernet Sauvignon. So you will see on the bottles that they label the bottles based on, like, this is, you know, Roman numerals, which is how many of these wines that they have made. So they don't make it necessarily every year. It has to be the best grades. It has to reach a certain perfection for them to actually label it and put it into a bottle. So this delicious Cabernet, as you can tell by the color, it is rich, full, it's dark in color. There's some legs on it, so you know that there's a little bit more alcohol content in this wine than the other two, just a little bit. This one's only 14. So again, not so big and over extracted. So it does have a little bit of, it's not 100% Cabernet. So it does have a slight amount of Petit Verdot, a slight amount of, so 5% Petit Verdot, 4% Merlot, 2% Malbec, and 1% Cab Franc. But it is still a Cab varietal because it is more than the required percentage of Cabernet.
It's 52% French, 20% New American, and 28% neutral.
I think the sensory consistency, oh, that's got some tannins in it. That does have a lot of nice tannins in it for being low in alcohol. They probably do a little skin-on-skin contact because that's a little bit more extracted than you would expect with having all those other wines blended in with it, just a slight blend. It's elegant tannins, but they are definitely there. A big acidity to this wine. There's a big mouthfeel when you drink it. It's not the long burn finish, but it definitely has the deep mouth finish. That's good. Okay, I'll go over the price points. Okay, so again, the three-legged dog, which I don't have the bottle right here, is $19.99 a bottle. Then your Trattina is on sale for $29.99 a bottle. The Shiraz is $39.99, and the Cab Franc is $49.99. So again, hitting that sweet spot that we love with $50 cabs. It's delicious. It's wonderful. They're all fabulous wines. They put a lot of time into this winery. A lot of hands-on, hand-picked, hand-sorted, punched down. They do a lot of amazing, wonderful things here that we love to showcase and feature. So these are our wines for this week. And join us for our dinner special on Saturday night and our flight of wine. So you can come in and you can get a full flight, or you can get a bottle, however you would like to do it. Our dinner special is lasagna with a side salad, a dinner roll, and a cake, whatever kind of cake I make between now and tomorrow.
The flight price is $14.
Okay, so $14 for the flight. And then, or you can pick up a bottle, let us know. Also, next week, we are going to be featuring Reynolds Family Wineries, which, as a lot of you know, is my favorite Merlot ever made, for 100% varietal Merlot. and I'm so excited because we are going to try that one as well. In addition to, they will be all the new vintages. And then of course on our Wednesday night Zoom, which you can always email us, text us if you'd like to be a part of our Zoom. We have a Zoom meeting every Wednesday night at 5:15 where everybody gets to kind of talk about the wines as we taste them. It's a lot of fun. But next Wednesday, it's especially going to be, we're only going to have so many spots because actually Steve Reynolds, the founder and winemaker and owner of Reynolds Wines, will be joining us for our Zoom. So he'll be on there, he'll be talking through the flight of wine and also answering questions and those kind of things. So that's going to be a lot of fun also. So I know we're still all quarantined and everybody's so eager to get back into the real world and back together, but at this point, let's just keep staying connected, staying together, and cheers!